NottsRockCast is an association with Regular Riot. Welcome to NottsRockCast, the Notts Alternative Scene podcast. And here is your host, Jethro D, bringing you everything Notts and rock.
Welcome, Notts Rockers, to NRC-045 over YouTube. Yes, we are getting through them. Right, this week got the full band of Liberator to talk to, and just as always, please hit that subscribe button and ding that bell to be notified when I release other podcasts. It really does help. Right, okay, welcome here today. I'm here with Liberator, the actual full band of Liberator, I believe. There's no one missing, is there?
No.
Cool. Do you want to take it in turn?
Yeah, the drum machine's missing.
Do you want to take it in turn and say who you are and what you do in the band?
Hello.
You don't have to sit that close. It'll pick you up from the corner a little bit.
Oh, this magic item. I'm Daniel Burnham. I do vocals. They say and costume changes depends on what I feel like at whichever given time. Lyrics mostly. Trying to make words sense.
Yeah. Do you write the songs?
The words, yes. Words sense.
Because they're not coming out at the moment, are they?
Words are hard.
It's too early.
It's a painful process.
Who's next then?
That's what she said.
Who's name?
Go
One.
I got Nathan Wilson. I provide rhythm, pounding things, hitting things with sticks.
Technical term for drums.
Yeah, drums. Yeah, layman's terms of drums and percussion.
And percussion, so there's more than just a drum kit on your drum kit then.
Oh yeah, he's got like 3 drums. He like climbs up ladders and starts banging through
Pots and
ones.
pans and one.
Hangs up from the ceiling.
Full dream theatre.
Well, that guy's budget, man, I would go full Lamborghini. Seriously.
We're going to put him on a roundabout and start spinning him as he drums.
It's a good round. I'm Mike. I twiddle my 6 strings in the rhythm section. I like writing riffs in my spare time. That's how we come up with our songs as well, don't we?
Yeah.
Write a riff, and then someone say, "Yeah, that's good." Put another riff to it. We sit there and jam away, and he's there in the corner. He's got a book like that, right?
Like Gollum.
Well, yeah, that's basically me. I play the drop tune 6 strings on rhythm.
My turn.
Come on, speak up.
I am Rob. I am the lead guitarist. I do all the twiddly bits on the solos and high-end bits.
It's all very technical, isn't it?
It's
Very technical.
yeah, it's some technical stuff. have to be able to move my hands fast. So it's good to have good hands for it.
See, these are the technical terms. No other bands use these terms. That's why we are the most professionals. See, Slipknot, yeah. Slipknot's got no shit on us with this sort of technicality. Nothing.
We play with big hands on strings.
Yes.
That's our technicality.
I made you play the G string.
Even though we were born after Slipknot, they learnt everything from us. Well, and yeah, all of us were born before Slipknot.
They channeled it.
No, after.
After,
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on.
I also make just good cobs as well.
I
I make good cheese cobs.
No, you don't.
You made bad hot dogs, admit it.
They're unique.
You're the only person to burn a pan of hot dogs.
And last but not least,
Oh my God,
Burn
what
water and all. Significant other. I'm Andrew Munro, or Row, as I'm usually called. I play bass. Loads of distortion on it, and try to rein it in so I'm not playing a bass solo all the time, because that's how I'd have it if I got my way.
you would. Cool. Right. So, okay. Tell me a little bit about the band. How did you all get started?
I suppose kind of looking from two different ways, because from my perspective, I was looking for a band, and Rob answered, and then we started doing some sort of cover bits. See, we're doing guitar bits, and I was just singing along to them, which were fine, but without everything else, it just seems a little bit pointless. And then my way of looking.
Yeah, if you have it in my perspective.
Yeah.
I got together with one of my mates. He was in a different band at the time, and I used to be in a band called Engraved in Blood, and we used to play gigs together.
Right.
And he messages me out of the blue and says, "I fancy doing a band, do you want to do one?" I'm like, "Yeah, alright then." So me and him started writing some stuff. He brought along the drummer. So basically we started with a drum machine at first until he came along, then jammed at his house for a couple of songs. And then he decided after about 3 weeks that his work were getting too busy for him, so he said he couldn't do it. So I said, yeah, that's fair enough. So I then said to that drummer, so I put an advert out and joined my band and whatnot. We created the Liberator page, put an advert out. About a day later, he replied saying he was interested. And then you came along to my house that weekend.
Yeah.
We jammed out 3 songs.
Something like that, yeah.
And then he said about Rob being a guitarist. So next weekend we all went to Rob's house, jammed at Rob's house. And then Adam left because he was too busy playing cricket and doing his unis, which like, fair enough.
Fair enough.
So then we decided to use a drum machine, which sounds silly, but it actually worked. We thought, might as well get out there, show what we've come up with so far.
You start from somewhere. Start somewhere. That's the thing. I mean, it's all right to start with, but as you go on, you obviously need bass and drums. Otherwise, the songs are going to sound all the same all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but our debut EP was actually done on drum machine. We did a whole EP. It went down quite well. Pubs were actually then messaging us saying, "Can you play?" And we said, "Well, as you've heard, we've got a drum machine. Does that bother you?" We're like, "No." So all right then. So we went on gigging circuit.
Don't you shake your head
And then Andy came along on drums. Found a bassist as well.
Didn't our old bassist find? Didn't Brady find Andy? I thought it was that way around.
No, Brady came along as bass. He found Paris.
Yes.
Who did a couple of auditions and then just stopped turning up. So I thought, okay.
Well, she had an argument with Brady and then so on and so forth.
So then we applied on Join My Band, said we need a drummer.
Yeah.
Then we got Andy who came. He used to be the drummer in Ballborough, if you've heard of them.
No, I don't think I have.
Black metal band, and I thought, well,
That's probably why.
It's like, well, you can obviously do the blast beats and fast beats, alright. And then he had a fallout with us over a recording.
I think it's more we're just getting a bit too impatient with things.
Yeah.
Sounds like more had a fallout with the studio.
Yeah.
We recorded.
Pretty much is.
We recorded a song designed by Fate, Electric Bear.
Right.
And they sent us the rough mix, well, obviously for us to listen to and change around. And then obviously we all messaged saying, yeah, could we change that? And then apparently he messaged them saying, you don't know what you're playing now, that sounds awful. And we're like, it's a rough mix.
It's not.
So
it's not
things
gonna be
kicked
there.
off between that, so we were like, you know what, get out. So we threw him out.
And then
For people who don't know, a rough mix is once you've finished recording, you just slap it together to make it sound slightly coherent, so the whole band can determine whether you're in time or not.
I mean,
not whether it sounds good.
I mean, we could release it as is with the rough stuff, but obviously it needs
Tweaking around.
shaping to make sound.
Yeah,
So
proper.
it's not.
It's meant to sound proper.
Make sound proper.
So anyway, carrying on.
Oh my god.
We got rid of Andy.
Hang on. He did get back to us, not us, but very recently. He got back to
With that studio.
recording Electric Bear, and
He said, "Can I record it?"
because when he left, he put up a bad review at Place,
Yeah.
and then he took the review down recently when he messaged them again.
Oh, right.
We tried recording, and then they're like, "No, thank you."
Oh, wow.
He's lost that. Anyway, continuing.
Apparently, he's in a pop band
Reggae
or something.
band. Yeah,
Pop reggae band or something. Which,
Or was.
Oh, right.
Pop group.
why not?
Anyway, continuing the story. Anyway.
That
Still
was
it.
so proper, isn't it?
I'm enjoying this. I'm on the edge of the seat.
Our journey begins.
It's a whole series of EastEnders in one episode. Basically, we then got rid of him, and then we thought, right, we're gonna get some more songs written. And then, cause he then left, we thought, we need a drummer. We need to get some stuff done. So I then messaged a couple of friends, including Mr. Smiley over here, and I said, would you mind being a session drummer, like coming in and helping us record and stuff, because we had the time booked in the studio but no drummer. It's like, great. So they said yeah, and came along to a few practices, and then
I was surprised actually.
he started smiling. He's like, I like this, do you need a full drummer? It's like, damn right with him.
I was surprised because he were in Korea at the time.
Yeah, we did a gig with him at the Black Market.
Yeah.
But how have I known you all my life?
2005, I want to say.
pretty much most of it.
2005, something like that.
Wow.
Because he was.
I used to be in a band with his dad,
My
a
dad,
covers band, Redeemer, and he used to come on to the practices.
I was just watch.
He used to sit and watch. So, yeah, we've known each other for a while.
Been a while.
And then, with the thing with Korea, I could kind of sense that it was a sinking ship.
Oh, right.
Because our bassist was talking about leaving, and we auditioned one bassist, but the rest of the guys did. I thought it did great.
I mean, if you've heard their version of Overkill by Motorhead, it's really, really good.
Yeah?
Oh, wow.
You're going to have to remember to send me a link to that then, because I'll have to have a listen. Is it on YouTube or anything?
Yeah, the Battle of the Bands thing we did, where was it? Intake in Mansfield.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
This is no longer.
Yeah, shame that one.
I mean, yeah, it was a decent pub, but it was off the beaten track. I mean, there was two pubs between there and, on the way into Mansfield.
Yeah.
And that was it, but one of them was kind of more of your local pub, it's a local pub for local people.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I view all of Mansfield.
One of those places.
Yeah, they were.
There's the one next to the bus station. We played the gig at, didn't we? And the car park.
Prince William.
That's the one,
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's the Bold Forester. But,
Yes, is that still a hungry horse or something like that? wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, cut a long story short, I could sense the career ship was sinking. So right, and there seems to be a running joke with how many bands at one given point, like 3 or 4 bands I would be in, but I think I was only in a couple at the time, or one anyway, for sure. So that's when I said to these guys, it's like, I'll be a full-time drummer.
Cool.
Here I am, still here. Still here. But yeah, it's been great.
And then Brady
No, we had Tish.
No, Brady left because he were getting busy with university and whatnot, which...
I think we kept getting him too many chances.
No, that was second time round, and he realised he was
It was
too...
that the fourth time he came back again?
Yeah.
The second time he came back, he were getting too busy with other stuff, so we're going to have to find someone else, which he understood. I think out of the past bassist, I think he's been maybe the most
Busiest.
Yeah, busy doing nothing.
And then we had Tish for a while. She joined us.
Yeah, that was a strange one.
No,
She was like those things.
she were alright, but
She seemed motivated and everything
She
at the
enjoyed it.
gigs and the practices, but then it's just getting her to the practices.
yeah,
Had to
later on,
message you like
later
last
on,
minute all the time, didn't it? Like, you're coming or what?
later on, it was just getting too hard, and then
Well, basically, she left,
yeah,
and then I put another advertisement up on Join My Band.
and then Brady joined back in, and then
Joined back in.
obviously
He left again.
because he was getting too busy with stuff, and then we're looking for another bassist.
And then after 2 days of posting one up, Andy contacted us and said he'd like to give it a go. And I sent him Venomous Hey. What else did I send you? I sent you a couple, didn't I?
Sent me a link to the reverb.
I sent you about 2-3 songs, and
Just learned the stuff what was on there.
sent him about 2-3 songs. Then we got to practice thinking, okay, let's see how he does. As soon as we start playing open riff, he starts blasting out his bass line, and I'm like drooling, watching like, oh my god, that was me. So it's like, he's literally hired after the first like line of the song. It's like, yeah, that's that's not what happened.
So, I'm really fascinated now because this seems like I really want to go home and watch Spinal Tap again.
What happened to him? Oh, he died.
Yeah, honestly, it's wow. I mean, so the formation that you've got now, you're obviously really happy with, and do you think it has helped the band going through all them stages of other members?
I believe it has, because obviously the lineup we have now, we're dedicated. We get when we say we want to do a new song, we'll just like make one that day.
Yeah.
All our hearts are like wanting to always constantly move forward, rather than, well, I can't wait for that, I'll wait till next week kind of thing.
I think we're all like on the same sort of same sort of wavelength.
Yeah.
We're all, we've got a lot more in common with each other than with like other members.
It's like a case of the people who really didn't want to be here aren't here anymore, and it's the ones that are left are the ones that are really dedicated.
That's I think you've got a spot on there. They didn't want to do it because of different reasons, and
They're lost.
Fair enough. Yeah, totally. Because as I said earlier, I've enjoyed the tracks that I've played so far, and I think they're absolutely brilliant. And to be honest,
thank you.
I'm a thrash fan, so it kind of really helps. Now, would you class yourselves as a thrash band?
It's a difficult one.
I'd say thrash. I'd say we've got probably thrash.
We have definitely got thrash elements.
Thrash, I say battle metal. I think there's about 2 of the 3 songs that are coming up aren't really thrash or don't really fit with what we're doing. Like, I'm trying to remember the title now. Hang on.
I've noticed though that the more newer the songs are, the more heavier they are getting. So the thrash roots were there originally, then it kind of went more hard rock melodic, and then it's now slowly reaching the thrashy headbanging bit again.
And there's a bit more technicality.
It's more.
Since Andy's been on bass, he's throwing these Steve Harris licks, and me and Robin are catching up. It's like, come on then.
Wow.
We're thinking you write the riff, and we'll just think of something basic and dull.
Breaking Point, that's it. So like that one and the slower one we're doing, that doesn't really fit with the other ones in like the theme of the songs and whatnot. They're more realistic, I suppose you could say.
Realistic.
Realistic.
People can relate. beat to that sort of
rather
cliche
than
sort
like,
of.
a fantasy element,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Theme.
I think, yeah.
Right.
I don't think we go fully that route, but I think it's just how the songs came, because everyone writes it. I see it like Lego. Everyone writes everything,
Yeah.
and then now put the lyrics on top. It's like, here's a bag of Lego. Build something out of that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it's like with the new one, we're actually at the minute writing like a softer song. It's actually played in clean and it's slow. Basically, me and Rob were like, start practice, I was like twiddling through this slow riff. He started like playing the root notes. I thought, that sounds good. But Andy was sat over there and I could hear him coming up with bass lines like, this is coming on. And then Nathan walks in the room and just sits there, taps his drum 4 times and comes up with a beat. It's like, can't well, that's fitting. And then he just like looks through a bit of paper, it's like, and then we've got a song like that. I'm pretty sure
that song's coming along similar to like Fade to Black, where it's like clean with a bit distorted bass on it, and then gets heavier for a section. And
I think and Rob and Mike kept doing that riff ever since Brady were bassists, just doing that riff every so often.
Yeah.
Like, I've not really done it.
I think it just came to the point.
Old riff, but it's not really used it.
It just came to the point where I thought, I'm sick of just playing this riff. Let's do something with it. So we just sat down and came up with a song.
It sounds really
Cool. It sounds really good.
It sounds really good.
But I think it's the last one we're going to record because the vocals do not work at the minute. If recording it now, it would sound terrible.
Well, at the moment, we've got 9 songs recorded. We've got another 2 to do, so we'll have an 11-track album, hopefully.
Are you doing all of these songs individually? So you're booking a time for one song in the studio?
Okay. I know for some bands it's more, they do more.
Get the drums done in one day.
Yeah.
And then, which is what I've always done. Apart from this band, I mean, I would prefer to do it. You know, just get all my drums done in one day, and then that's me done.
Yeah.
And then book other days for those guys to.
But there was one song where the song was a bit out. That which one were it? I know the one where either the riff was a bit short, that's why drumming went a bit off, or I think it was that. Oh God, I can't remember which one.
That's the joys and tribulations of actually working in a studio, isn't it?
Yeah, there's always something.
So
The thing I've noticed though is we've been recording this album
We've got to do that one again, man.
No.
We've been recording this album
we're doing them all
since
again.
early last year. But because we've been doing it song by song by song, as we've been making new songs in practice,
yeah,
it's like, let's now put that one onto the album, or let's put that one onto the album.
We actually started 2017.
Yeah. We recorded Designed by Fate.
Yeah.
But all the other ones on the album were all last year.
Oh.
Because Designed by Fate was already done.
That's it's an EP.
Because we come up with like a set of songs that we were going to re-record from the first EP.
yeah,
But as time's gone on, we've made newer songs like, stuff that one.
yeah.
So I think only 2 of the songs from EP is going to be on album. I think Motor. Designed by Fate. I think they're the only 2.
We recorded that.
When I came in, I re-recorded the bass tone.
Yeah, he did all.
So.
Right, I'm having my bass on it.
The one I recorded, you put his foot down, I was like, I'll put this on that. Okay.
They're not me.
Speaking of which, Designed by Fate, that's not me either.
No.
Do you know what? That bloody drums at the beginning of that, do you know, because it ain't got that your kick drum right at the beginning. So I'm missing out. That fucking threw me off completely. my bit had to be taken out of the intro of that because like your drums were there. And I was like, why is the knob not recorded that drums? He's like, oh yeah, Nathan didn't do it. Calling the wrong fucking guy here, aren't I?
Because that's like the
Maybe we should. I would like to do the drums on that eventually.
Cool. Right. Okay. Are you? where are all you guys from? Are you Nottingham, from elsewhere, moved to Nottingham, or where do you base around?
Those three are the Nottingham guys.
Moved from Mansfield to Nottingham.
You've moved from Mansfield to Nottingham?
Yeah.
Okay.
For about 3 or 4 years.
Cool.
I'm Bestwood lad. Bestwood Park,
Yeah?
Top Valley.
Born and bred?
All around that area, yeah.
Yeah,
He's from posh end of Nottingham.
same. So I live in Lady Bay,
Yeah.
West Bridgeford, so the other side of town.
Yeah.
Posh
And,
end.
the other side of town. It was like what you're saying
On
about
the
me.
right side.
The wrong side of the tracks.
It wasn't always like that. It wasn't always.
It wasn't always like that. It was the roughest street in the world, man.
Someone knocked over a wheelie bin once.
And then there was anarchy.
Yeah, it's from the other side of the river.
It was like Escape from New York, man. You've not seen anything like it.
Where are you from then?
Originally from
You've forgotten.
well, I've not been there for God knows how long, and my memory of places is a bit crap. I'm like James May in that respect.
Fair enough. Where are you from now then?
Sutton.
Right.
That God's street. No, I can't remember the place whatsoever. Nah. It'll come to me, and as we're all talking, this is it. Oh, that's it.
That's where I'm from.
It'll come to him in a dream.
Yeah.
Get a text at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Can you just come into the cell? I just want to have this little bit in. Right, say your voice here. I'm from here. Right, I've just edited this.
There you go. Send it out.
Where were you born?
That's the question. Where were you?
King's Mill.
So Mansfield, where you from then?
No.
Clipstone, Sutton, Kirkby, you know.
Friggin' hell.
Shinerock.
Sports Direct, baby. I had to say it, I really don't care. And Mike?
Originally from Warsaw, born and bred. I've moved out about 2-3 years ago now, living in Staveley near Chesterfield.
Cool. Right. Have any of you got any professions outside the band then?
Yeah, well, I'm an electrician.
Alright.
Family business, Birmingham, Topless Light.
A bit of advertising there for you.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Why not? It's your chance to talk.
Birmingham Topless have been going since 1975.
All right.
I got out of my voice there.
I didn't know you were that old.
We go around Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire performing the best electrical work known to man.
Sound like we're chatting.
I was going to say. How long you been an electrician then? All your life, or?
Nearly, I did do a bit and then went back to school to do something, and then after a year went back into business proper. So since about 2007, so that's about, I think it's about 11 years, give or take.
Yeah.
It's not too bad actually. It's more of a case of the places you go rather than the work you do, because the place might be really hard to fit stuff in, or the worst ones are when they're really dirty or whatnot. I mean, can't be helped sometimes because the people who live there.
That's their lifestyle.
Yeah, whatever, but it's just, I don't really want to go in there like cat shit in the bath. And, no!
Whoa!
Oh!
There's them kind
It's
of
like living in
stories
paradise,
why I
isn't
never
it?
did that. My cousin was an electrician and he told me some stories like, yeah, I'm never doing that.
You know the Irish guy that were in Black Books?
Yes.
Yeah, the one place that it looked like him, He said, "I mopped the floor." Have you? It like a fag tray.
Oh God!
No.
I'll never forget that one.
The smell of stale smoke. That's why I don't smoke indoors, and I'm quite happy that pubs and clubs and public places don't smoke inside. You know, I'm a smoker, and I don't really care whether people smoke or not. But smoking indoors you can always smell it.
That's the thing people said when this banned smoking indoors, that it banned pubs and whatnot, but that's not really been the reason why pubs and whatnot have closed, really, at all.
No, not really. Oh, don't forget, I do have 2 rules. No Brexit, no politics before we start going down that avenue.
Why are you all looking at me? The thingy. Okay.
Mike?
I used to work in retail. I used to work at Bargain Booze in Warsaw. And then since moving to Staveley, I've become a carer for my fiance.
Oh, that's very noble.
Well, it is. Obviously, I'd like to be out there doing more, but it's a job in itself, really.
Yeah,
Cooking and cleaning. I'm becoming like a bloody housewife. But
Cool.
obviously, it makes me happy looking after her, so do my best.
Cool.
I used to work at the Co-op warehouse near Sutton Nashfield, and then after leaving that, when my son was born, I'd become a full-time daddy daycare.
You've become a full-time dad?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
So while he's
So I'm guessing your partner's...
when he starts full-time school, then I'm going to be looking for work again. Because it's driving me nuts not working.
What do you do for work usually when you are working? Just
Well,
like your
like I
warehouse
said
stuff?
before, my son was born, I was working at the Co-op warehouse, but obviously, you know, I've got the 2 kids, so it's school run and whatnot.
Yeah.
Back, clean up, tidy up, whatever, and then, but when he's in, like I said, in full-time education next year, so yeah, I'm looking for work again.
Cool.
So
I work at Games Workshop. I make toy soldiers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Do you actually make the models then?
In the factory. I don't design them or anything.
No.
I'm just working in injection moulding. A big
cool.
plastic machine.
Yeah, when I heard that, I'd just say, "Hey, do you know about this? What about..." Every so often, he's like, "Hey, do you know about this? What about this?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. I don't design it."
I used to work in Forge.
Don't even know what they are coming off.
Yeah.
I used to work in Forge Wheel for years, and then moved down into injection moulding, and then about a year ago got rid of all my stuff, so I don't play it. So I haven't really got any interest in what's coming out of it. So he asked me, "Oh, what's coming out? What's this? You heard about that?" I'm like, no bloody idea anymore.
Wow.
My knowledge is about 2 years out of date.
I'll tell you something that I find absolutely hilarious at the moment. I'm on Facebook Marketplace quite a lot, looking for studio gear and guitars and amps and stuff. Now, I don't know whether it's Facebook trying to promote other ads from other categories, or people are putting Warhammer 40k in the category of musical instruments.
Well, probably
It's
the noise
hilarious. I don't know what the hell that's about.
The Noise Marines, they've got the guitars on.
Noise Marines.
In fairness, they have, because they did one where it's like old 80s style, because it's got a multicoloured Mohican and a guitar with a gun and whatnot.
Bloody hell, I forgot about the Noise Marines.
I know you're bored of doing basses.
What?
You know, the little model basses.
So you're saying board of planes? No.
Yeah, we just get him in to do bass every now and again.
Saying that though, talking about figures, we've actually done one on Khan the Betrayer.
Well, yeah.
What's he for? Is that Warhammer?
Yeah, Warhammer, and we've done Iron...
Chaos, wasn't it?
Yeah, Iron Anthem, which again, Chaos, Iron Warriors and...
See, the lore in the books, I love.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't be asked with models.
Fair enough. It takes a lot of time though, doesn't it?
Yeah, you get into the point where you just like buying it because like you drift away from it.
Buying for the sake of it.
Yeah, stop painting, stop gaming.
Yeah.
But then still buying it.
Mm-hmm.
And you end up with loads and loads of it, and you're like, well, I could buy a couple more bases with the money I'm spending on this. Like,
It's I used to collect all the Spawn and McFarlane stuff, and then it's just gathering dust in my spare room at my parents' house, so I'll probably sell that. So I got all of it. Well, obviously, I remember where Forbidden Planet used to be in Nottingham.
Forbidden Planet.
Still there.
Is that the shop around the corner?
Down the corner,
Yeah, it used to be somewhere else on the same road as Selector Disc.
I wouldn't know. I've only been here. Christ, almost 10 years now. I'm a southerner originally. I moved up in 2009 to Mansfield. The first thing I got asked when I asked where the Mansfield train was at the Nottingham station, hope you brought your stab vest. I'm sure I've said that over and over in these chats.
But no, when I first walked into there, and it's like, oh wow, it's just, so cool. But yeah. Anyway,
And finally yourself.
Finally me. So I work in 2 kitchens. So it's a place called Bistro Live, which is near to the ice arena.
Yep.
Basically, and it's kind of like a venue for hen parties, big birthdays. So we get a lot of females, a lot of women there.
Yeah. Is that why you got you got?
I wonder why you weren't there.
people dancing on tables.
So it's basically reverse Hooters.
kind of, yeah.
That sounds like
pretty
a
much.
party.
You never told me this part.
You said you worked in the kitchen. It's like, what?
Like, yeah, you won't like it. It's just
I think we're back at house, so we don't really get to really see it that much.
See, he works helping make food for people, but when he makes it for us, he tries to kill us. We went through a practice once, and this
20 minutes to boil water.
It was well cooked.
I bought a tin of hot dogs. I thought I'll feed them all. So I said, well, put them in your pan while I play a song, and they'll be done.
Wow.
Half hour later, how's them hot dogs? Water's boiling. I haven't put them in. Okay, you went to put them in. So put some in. 10 minutes later, how are they doing? They're looking wet. Well, they're in a pan, looking wet. No, 10 minutes later, I think they're done. And come out black and crispy. Like, how did you burn hot
They
dogs?
weren't even on to start with because they didn't put the bob on.
That's why we call them the destroyer of hot dogs.
I mean, we've got some that I'd like to record, but I don't think we ever will, called Black Metal Ballad.
Black metal ballad.
Yeah, think of the most generic black metal riff ever,
Right.
and apply words that just lyrics that just rhyme. Like the middle one, I introduced the band. Here's Mike.
What does he like?
Yeah. Here's Rob. Makes a nice cheese dog.
cheese cob.
Make some.
There is Nathan. He doesn't look like Jason Statham. What was on this? Oh, there is Roe. You will never know what he knows.
He looks like Monroe.
So, what compelled you all to be into the alternative scene then?
Oh, mine's easy. Mine will be my dad.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to. Well, everyone will probably laugh at me for this, but I used to like pop music, dance music. And then, of course, I used to be at my mum's at the weekends. So obviously, my brothers and sister was playing that constantly. So that's how I got into that. And then a weekend when I was at my dad's house, he just started playing like an Iron Maiden record, and I'm like, well, I don't mind the sound of that. So I sat down in front of the stereo and played record after record, Metallica, Slayer. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like that stuff. And then my dad got me into Black Sabbath, things like that, and I started going to watch his band practices. And then when I was 16, he bought me my first bass guitar. And then ever since 16, I've played guitar and got into more heavier stuff.
Cool.
That's how I got into it.
Mine, technically, through my mates and some video games, got soundtracks on with different stuff. Mine were more like Linkin Park, Korn, Seether, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then first proper heavy sort of album was Devil Drivers, Make of Our. The Maker of Our. That's freaking hell. The one in 2005 they did in the Throwdown
Yeah.
album they did in well, the album Throwdown did in 2007.
I'm a little confused by your statement. You telling me Korn ain't heavy?
Not as. Well, not as it's
Don't worry, it's all open to interpretation, isn't it, really?
I mean, some of the songs are, I don't think they're as heavy as what they used to be per se, but...
Fair enough.
I think for me it was like I could have grown up in a musical background. My dad plays music, so it's always been part of my life. Like I was encouraged to play guitar when I was quite young, but then I wasn't like at first I wasn't like that interested in guitar, and I wasn't like bothered about music. But then it was kind of later on in life I could have really got into music. In fact, it was when I think it was an episode of Futurama when they had like Bender. He was. You know what Bender's like Iron Man?
I've probably seen it.
But anyway, it's this one episode of Futurama, and they play Iron Man by Black Sabbath.
Oh right.
And it's that moment I thought, wow, this is a cool song. I want to play guitar. And that's right. And then I can start listening. Started listening to like metal and. I guess when I was introduced, and I was like 15, I was introduced to quite a lot of like metal bands, and really got into the whole genre. And then just been playing.
Yeah, cool.
Iron Man.
That's like
When in the film Iron Man.
No, in Futurama.
Oh, in Futurama. Right.
Ironically.
I know they didn't get that cliche on the movie, did they? I was expecting Iron Man to be the entrance song to the first movie of Iron Man, and they went with AC/DC.
I mean, it works better, but...
And yourself?
About 8 or 9, I think it was. Listening to some of my dad's records. This Iron Maiden, Motorhead, Black Sabbath, and that was it. And I got a guitar first time when I was 14. Got bored of it in about a year and a half. Then picked up a bass guitar and fell in love. Never put it down since. And from that, just following all my favourite bass players. So I got into Metallica heavily from Cliff Burton and Rancid, because their bass player, absolutely brilliant. So my tastes will go from like punk to rock to metal. But my favourite bands are like Cradle of Filth and Rammstein, but I'll happily play anything if the bass line's cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And yourself?
Well, my dad was a drummer, so obviously got into it early age from about 3.
Yeah.
Got a toy kit at Christmas when I was 3. And my dad gave me his drum kit when I was 7. So from then on, I've just been into it, obsessed.
And that started you on the path of the music as well?
Yeah, my dad, yeah.
Wow.
Then my mum also played part in that. By I used to do a lot of videotaping off the TV, like Top of Pops, Live Aid, and all the concerts, Queen. So then it's Thin Lizzy, Queen, Brian Downey, Roger Taylor. And when I saw the Freddie Mercury tribute, Metallica, they were the first band.
Yeah.
And then that's how I got into the heavy music.
Cool.
So yeah, big 3: Brian Downey, Roger Taylor, and Walswick.
Cool.
Influences.
See, everyone else has been at least in 2 other bands. I'm just in this one.
Fair play.
All bands I've been in, bloody hell.
Yeah, I've been in and out of bands that just haven't gone nowhere, which is a bit of a shame. And to be honest, I've started on my solo stuff, and then I decided I'd bought too much equipment and then would record bands, and now somehow I'm bloody podcasting. So,
I think you might know some of the bands I was in now. I was in Aonia, if you heard of them. They're getting quite big now.
I've heard of it.
And also BB Black Dog. Steampunk band signed by Steampunk Records.
No, I'm not into steampunk personally. Right, we're going to take a break for 5 minutes. And then we'll get on to the second section, which is Not Some Rock, if you're happy with that.
Yeah.
Cool. I know you may be enjoying it all over YouTube, but if you want to listen to more music during the break sessions, then check it out. Check out NottsRockCast on a podcast player. Right, welcome back. We're going in the second half, which is Not Some Rock, in the ye old salutation on what must be the most rainiest day of this year. Yeah. And I'm here with Liberator.
Yay!
Oh, come on, you give a bigger cheer than that.
Hey! Yeah.
That's better.
Do the fuck away.
Right, so this section's more about what you feel about Nottinghamshire and Notts as a place. So, what do you love and enjoy about what do you love and enjoy about living in Nottinghamshire?
I reckon the music scene.
The music scene.
It's got to be the music scene.
It's pretty healthy.
Well, all the bands that I have been in, Nottinghamshire for gigs, you got them like that. Anywhere else I didn't really seem bothered, so obviously Nottingham's always been a thriving place for music.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there's less pubs, but the pubs that are still going still get a fair few bands in. Some that are newer, maybe not, well, probably not well known, but some that are still well known.
Yeah.
That still go around the different places, like Forgotten Remains.
Stop it.
Who?
There's loads of bands.
Lots of big bands. A lot of bands from Nottingham. Like, you got Sabbath from Nottingham. They're quite big.
Yeah. There's a lot more Derbyshire there.
3 years winter.
3 years winter, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the biggest ones. I don't know if everyone else agrees. Evil Scarecrow. They obviously
yeah.
they started off with doing like just pubs and whatnot, and now look what they do, sort of thing.
Well, seeing them at Bloodstock was amazing.
On the
It
main
was
stage.
I could remember seeing them at Town Mill in Mansfield on New Year's Eve, and then seeing them at Bloodstock. It's like, oh my god.
Actually, one of the members, like, he used to work. I think he was down the road. And note that there's like it used to be Bar Schnaps. He used to work there.
Yeah.
So you'd often see him there and
cool.
socialise with him.
Anything else about Notts that you love and enjoy apart from the music?
A bit different. Before years ago, one thing I really like about Nottingham is the pubs.
Yeah.
We've got some of the best pubs in the whole world. We've got the oldest pubs as well.
I think they're very much like the music scene and very much like what I say about Notts is they're so diverse, the pubs in this place. Like, you go up towards Hockley, but then you turn right as if you were going down. I don't really know. Oh, if you're going towards the Justice Museum, there's a pub there I went to the other week, and I didn't even know it existed, but it was brilliant. The beers were good. And
Just the one just up there from here. That's day and night to this one.
which one? The Royal Children?
No, Ned.
Oh, Ned Ludd. Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Really way different to this one. It's kind of more wine barry.
There's sort of stuff. And it was a history, like, immediately you go to the trip to Jerusalem, it's actually built into the caves.
Yeah.
You go, and they've got, and here as well, got caves here.
Yeah.
And the hobby scene.
It's war gaming central.
Oh yeah, that's one of the biggest things in world. From Nottingham. I mean, you've got Games Workshop, Mantic Games, Warlord, Perry Miniatures, because the Perry twins are some of the most well-known miniatures creators. They do like all historical stuff now, but they are really well known. I mean,
they're nice and all. Good. A lot of them are all dead approachable and things.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, that's one of the things about Notts. They are.
You know, if you hold your hand over your mouth, we can't hear you with the microphone.
Well, for me personally, having a music shop on your doorstep, PNT, which is like a half an hour walk for me from where I live, So
Cool.
if I ever get bored, just like when PMT is like doing good salary all the drum equipment. Yeah.
What does that stand for?
Professional music technology.
Ah, right.
Yes, we had to ask that one.
I went in there a little while ago and bought my Adam audio speakers from there and was well happy. So
They've got Nottingham Drum and Strum, which is a little bit further down. And then what's that one in Victoria Centre that?
music room.
Yeah, I'll only go on there if I'm desperate.
Ooh.
It's not great.
I kind of know what you mean on that
keyboard,
one.
isn't it?
I really enjoy going.
It's like when parents take the kids who know nothing about music. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I want a guitar or a drum kit, they'll take them there.
It's like the Lloyd's
They
Bar.
won't go anywhere. Yeah. It's like Weatherspoons at the music shop.
That's what I meant. I really like the music inn up towards Canning Circus.
I used to go there all
That's
the time.
really good.
though.
You've been to Hot Rocks?
Hot Rocks.
Yes, it's in Slenton, I believe.
Yeah, it's nice.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't.
it's like independent. It's quite small.
It's really
Oh, is that an instrument shop?
No,
it's guitars.
Guitars.
Yeah.
It's like well-known brands, more like independent brands.
Oh, cool. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah.
Hot Rocks.
Hot Rocks, yeah.
Right, I'm going to check that out because the only other one I know is Nottingham City Guitars.
Yeah.
But only go in there if you've either won the lottery or you've got a very big credit card just come through because he's got some really nice guitars in there, but they're all very pricey.
Yeah.
So, but he did help me fix my Epiphone Futura because the switch had gone on it, and he was like, yeah, don't buy the cheap stuff, buy the expensive stuff and it will last forever. So
Yeah.
25 quid later for a switch that chooses between pickups.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
It's kind of like
the cheap parts that they get on the cheaper models is usually the electronics and stuff. So it's it's stuff that goes really quick as well. So that wears out fast. So it'll be like your electronics, and then it'll be like your tuners and your bridge and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but stuff like that's easily replaceable and get better quality. And once you've done all that, get set up properly, you've got a professional piece of gear.
Yeah,
Anyway.
most of my cheaper end guitars sound better than some of the expensive ones I've had.
Yeah.
All
That's true.
all I've ever had to do is change the pickups, change possibly the
That's the
capacitors.
main difference.
Change the cheap parts, and the rest of the wood, as long as it's not a junker, then it's going to play fine.
Well, they're going to resonate in a slightly different way anyway, so it's the tone you're looking for that makes the difference, I guess. I wouldn't know with drums. Just
obviously, with Gretsch and Ludwig especially, you obviously get the Taiwanese stuff, but then you're just paying for a decal, you're just paying for the name, whereas I would rather save on my money and buy an American Ludwig or an American Gretsch.
yeah.
Although I do have two snare drums that are the Taiwanese Gretches, but they sound fine, but my Ludwigs, they're American, I won't buy Taiwanese Ludwig.
Is that what you mainly play on then, Ludwig?
I've got Ludwig snares, Gretsch snares, but I've got Mapex kits, they're Taiwanese.
I
Yeah.
tell them how many snares you actually own.
I've got 12 snare drums.
Wow. I've got 14 guitars.
Anyone opinion on that?
Anyone else?
I'm tempted to aim for 20 snare drums.
Yeah?
I'm going to
Yeah.
go for.
I'm always varying with my
A
bass.
favourite makeup guitar?
Me? Not really. Whichever one's closest to me, I suppose. It's like a lot of people say. What's the best mic in the studio? Well, the one that's closest to you. You just grab a mic,
that's not
you put it there, and you see if it works. If it doesn't work, grab another one.
Yeah.
And that's why I've ended up buying. Is he having a fit?
No.
Sneezing. But you just.
What about Bayer Dynamic? What do you think of
Pardon?
Bayer Dynamic?
They're nice mics. I haven't got one at the moment. I used to have one when I was a kid.
Same
Really
here.
enjoyed them.
Yeah.
But no, I think
Welcome to the Nathan and Jeffro podcast.
The non-rock part.
We'll take
well, no, this is inclusive.
Yeah,
it's
I
about
know.
instruments.
Yeah, so I was talking about equipment, so technically.
So okay, you said you all read the questions, so tell me a story or myth about Notts or something locally interesting that you know that people probably don't.
Well, probably.
the trip to Jerusalem, apparently there's this like ship in this like glass cave. Well, there's a ship that if you touch it, apparently there's a curse on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
Oh, really?
You actually see it, you go there, you see the boat there.
It's like if you touch it or wipe dust off it, you get cursed with some other BS.
Impotence.
Well, that's mine frigging knackers. I thought, no one will say that. I'll have got him with that one. Yes.
Got it.
And now.
You know, I'm actually tempted to go and touch that ship and see what happens. See if it's a lot of BS.
I can't play
Nothing
drums.
happened.
I can't play drums anymore. I've lost my arms.
No, stop.
I made a terrible mistake.
It's turned me into It's turned me into a leper.
I touched the stern on the ship.
Anything else?
That one as well. Yeah. So me and Rob will agree on that one.
Yes, we do.
About the ship.
Yeah.
Cool.
And me, because you robbed it from me, you bastard.
Well, you could have all spoken together before you turned up.
Oh no!
Right, moving on. What is your most favourite part of Notts or Nottinghamshire?
I could be meaning to say the way out, but you know. Well, my favourite would be probably Rock City.
Rock City?
Really?
Because I was always
How
when
can
I was
you call it
younger.
Rock City?
When I was younger, because I obviously lived in Warsaw, I was closer to Mansfield. So obviously I was just like the same pubs, the same people. And then one night my mate just took me to a club night at Rock City. Obviously you got the basement, the main room, the rescue rooms. So I was switching between the rooms all night, and I met so many people there. And they're like, come to the next one, come to the next one. So obviously I've met quite a lot of people just by going there. And I did in Mansfield for about 3-4 years.
Cool. I mean, it's not the same as it used to be.
Oh, definitely not. I thought I couldn't be going in there on a Friday and then hearing dance music. It's like, hang on, that says Rock City. Why am I hearing dance music on a Friday?
But even on the lower areas, when you've got bands on, even the music play on the lower areas, it seems to be a bit more.
Well, there's technically 3 clubs there.
You've got the Black Cherry, which used to be the Rig. I mean, I'd stay in the Rig all night because they play classic rock all night.
Yeah, that weren't bad.
Yeah, me and Mrs. just stayed in there all the time.
Yeah, I would love to stay in the Rig, but we call it Black Cherry Lounge now. But for me, Nottingham, the conveniences having, like the garages and the shops that stay open till midnight.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Any other favourite parts?
Depends what time of the day it is, because like if it's at night time, then probably a town or something, but in the day at home.
Wow, so adventurous.
Wow.
Well, all my stuff's there. All my bases
I did like it at Nottingham Castle though.
Yeah.
Castles, yes. Yeah.
When they had like a Robin Hood festival on there, and to be honest, I'd never ever been to Nottingham Castle. Because obviously when I lived in Warsaw, it was always the Sherwood Forest Visitor Centre.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to Nottingham Castle for a change, and ever since then I've always wanted to go back.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mine's really the different hobby places you can go. I mean, you've got Mansfield-wise, you've got probably just one, I think. Games Emporium, which they've got a big one at Sheffield. That's in the arcade. You've got the Southern one, which is Sanctuary, which is St Michael's Church, but they've turned it into like a mini Warhammer World sort of thing. So they've got all the tables set up, like the shields with different symbols and whatnot put up, and all rest of it, and it really looks all authentic. And
it's a battle for the church.
Battle Church. All different games on, and like I said, Warhammer World in Lenton, and first time when there, it's like, oh, look at all the stuff.
Wow.
And that's kind of same style, because the architecture's kind of churchy, I suppose.
Yeah.
Churchy.
Yeah. And they've got like
It's all churchy.
and they've got like a museum thing upstairs where all of the different things, and I don't know if they still have, but they used to have Lord of the Rings, the Uruk-hai thing. They used to have a full-sized statue. And they've got they still got it. And they had like different swords and whatnot, and it's really big in the main hall. You could probably, I'd say, fit this in probably 2-3 times over, I'd say.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Got a museum up there and all.
And they've also got Bugman's Bar, which like restaurant thing.
Yeah.
It is a bit expensive, I won't lie, but the food in there is really nice.
Oh, cool.
And then the Warlord Games, which I've never been in. Near to that, there's Mantic Games, which used to be a hospital.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure on that. And that's Beast and Way. That's smaller, and they like have open days and whatnot. It's kind of a more down to earth. Really, are you using that down to earth sort of version of Games Workshop?
Yeah. I never knew there was so much other than Games Workshop, if I'm completely honest. I have a friend who says he actually designs them, but I thought he did it for Games Workshop, and now I'm going, I don't think he does. And I did say to him I was probably going to get him on the podcast because of it. But he actually designs the little models.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot of them companies are made by Games Workshop staff as well.
Yeah.
It's like the Perry miniatures were done by the Perry twins who used to design for them. The Warlord that was done by Paul Sawyer, used to be the editor of White Dwarf, and
Wow.
And John Stallard, who was the CEO there, I think. And Mantic and all that.
A lot of people, that including the owner of Mantic, used to work at Games Workshop, which they sometimes get called the rip-off of Games Workshop, which kind of used to be fair, but you look at them now, there's really so much difference in how they work. And
I never realised we were going to get into bloody Games Workshop on this podcast. It's like, I'm going to invite a band along that enjoys playing instruments, and wow.
Don't blame me, I'm fed up of hearing the band. Every day, every week.
Well, I used to.
I did a bit of McFarlane collecting, and that was it. That was it.
All right, let's move on, unless anyone else has got any other favourite parts of Notts or Nottinghamshire.
Well, favourite parts. I guess like history is quite good. A lot of history here.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Which, as in like some of the museum and stuff?
I mean, yeah, we've got the museum, you've got the caves, you've got the castle, and all that. Everything.
That's amazing.
There used to be a pub, I think, called the Caves. The big roundabout near to where the BBC thing is. It's down one of the streets down there.
Oh, right.
It's not been open for many years, but it really nice because it was like bands and whatnot that you won't have heard of and will never heard of since played there. And there used to be an outside area where it was a bit cold because it was literally built into the caves, and you could do acoustic stuff there and whatnot. It weren't bad actually. Cool.
I never knew about that. See, that's something interesting.
I think it closed, 2009-10 sort of thing. No, a bit later, about 2012, I think that's right.
I'll have to look into that. Okay, moving on. A person, it's a bit of a hypothetical question, but a person gets off a train or bus, checks into their hotel, then goes to the bar that you're at and asks you, I've never been to Nottingham before and I've just got here. Where is the first place I should check out next?
I thought we weren't getting back to Games Workshop.
Well, that's his answer.
Caves of Nottingham.
The what?
Caves of Nottingham.
Yeah.
The City of Caves.
The Caves.
Is that what it's called now?
Yeah.
Warhammer World. Definitely.
Well, I just said Laser Quest. Is that still?
Laser Quest.
You get that in any city.
I used to come all the way from Warsaw just go to Laser Quest.
No, I think I know what he means. But there's that one in Victoria.
Megazone, wasn't it? Megazone?
It might have been Megazone.
Yeah, Megazone.
Megazone. No. I know there's one in Victoria Centre that's kind of like that, the Laser Questy thing, but that's more VR sort of
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
The
castle.
The castle.
Yeah. Either here, if we're
Royal
talking,
children, trips is like if I'm into like history and stuff.
Yeah.
Check out the old pubs.
if we're
I
talking,
just ask it as an open-ended
Yeah.
question because sometimes people will say there is like one place in this city that you need to go to if you've only got a day sort of thing. But yeah, some really good responses. Anything else? Anywhere else?
I mean, we should find as well.
if you've got,
good timing, it's not.
if it's more than a day, if you like staying over somewhere, whatever, either here or maybe Rock City, depends on what's. It's not the same as it used to be, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because it gets more people.
But yeah, I didn't actually specify what the person was
No,
like,
no,
what
no,
they
no,
were
no.
dressed in. I just said it's one person, and I just like to see the responses from that. I thought it was a very good, interesting question to
Either
ask.
here.
Well, it also would depend on the time of year, because if it's like now, I'm just going to take Goose Fair as well.
Oh yeah,
That's just been 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
No,
And I still didn't get to go to it.
I don't know. I was just
I didn't
I
get
missed
to
it.
go.
I
Welcome,
don't.
Right. This doesn't have to be an instrument, but what is your most treasured musical object?
Is this X-rated?
Come on.
I don't think they've made them yet.
Made what?
Well, I think obviously mine now will be my guitar, but when I first started writing my own music, I used to have a Korg 8-track cassette recorder. So obviously that's how I first started with Liberator. I wrote all my own songs on there, recorded all my stuff on there, and that's how my songs progressed to what they are now.
Do you still have it?
I do, yes.
Do you know how much it's worth now, probably?
Not a clue.
Probably twice or three times the amount you paid for it.
Well, it was originally my dad's.
All of these. Oh,
He
is
let
it that
me-
older?
Yeah.
Wow.
He let me have it because he could hear me constantly playing my guitar all the time. And it's even got an extension for mini discs as well. So you put mini discs in the record as well.
Wow.
I still got them at home.
I looked on Reverb yesterday and they've gone up like stupidly in price. There was a 4-track, just a simple Tascam one, which does like, cassette, 4-track, 500 quid.
Yeah.
Everybody wants them again
Maybe I
because
should have
like
a look.
Atticus Ross off 9 Inch Nails has started playing on stage with one.
Yeah.
And now everyone's going, oh, this is what I should really have. And we're looking for that authentic analog sound.
Always got to have the certain beat to it.
I think I might have a find out and get it on.
I'd keep it if I were you.
Just put a Ferrari badge on it, you beat 2 birds with 1 stone there.
Well, for me, it would be my signed drum heads. I mean, I've had signatures from like Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden, Jimmy DeGrasso, who was in Megadeth, Greg Bissonette, Steve White, all the top drummers. I've just got loads of signed drum heads.
Wow. Do you know how many you've got?
Say about 10, 11.
Wow.
Just full drummers that have signatures from loads of different drummers.
Cool.
So there are a couple of ones that I would actually freak out like if anything happened to them, obviously. But yeah,
I'll put them in glass cases, mate. Fireproof ones.
Yeah, but there's a couple. I mean, if I could find the one, I've got John Bonham's son, Jason Bonham's signature on one of them. I need to dig out. And Brian Downey from Thin Lizzy, who I thought I'd never meet until when we were playing at Rock City. And I thought, because there was still Scott Gorham on guitar. So it's Brian Downey and Scott Gorham, the 2 original members. And I'm waiting outside back at Rock City, like clutching my drum head, just like waiting for it. And then they walk towards me. Like,
Are they your pension then?
well, so I'm an easy.
It'll be on eBay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mine's definitely my first bass that I ever had.
You've still got it?
Yeah, from
Cool.
20 years ago, from when I was in college. It's a really crap copy of the Music Man. I think it's about vintage or something. It's worth about a tenner. It's absolutely awful.
Probably
I've
worth.
covered it in stickers, but there's just so many memories on it from the first gigs I ever played, first songs I ever learned, and I've kept it ever since. I've had tons and tons of basses since, sold them all, but I'll always keep that one. Never get rid of it.
What colour is it?
Black.
Cool.
Black, but covered in stickers. So.
Sticker art.
Barely see them. Yeah.
The only colour you should have as a guitar in a metal band.
I've got metal grey.
Got metal grey.
What for the drums?
It's weird because it's got a maple fretboard, and just about every other bass I've had since hasn't had a maple fretboard, and I've been dying to get another one with it since. I don't know what it is about it, whether it's just more the look or but I'm dying to get another one like that.
Cool.
Get to Canada.
And yourself?
Me, it's just I guess my guitars really. I can't say which one's like most special, but I guess I got I started off with like a Squire Strat, which isn't my favourite choice of guitar, but it was like it's what I started off with. Yeah. So I guess it's quite important because that's where I kind of started from. I've also got a bass. I also play bass as well. I don't really play bass, but I used to play bass once. So I've got my Ibanez bass, which is really nice. It's the Geo series. Cool. It's not like it's quite not like the high end range. It's quite low end, but it's I have a lot of memories with that.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't destroyed the first guitar I ever had. It had a lovely skull picture or something over it, I'm sure. Okay. What is your main influences as an artist, or what is the main influence of the band?
Vocal wise, I suppose it's Eric Adams from Manowar and fucking hell, I'm gonna murder this name.
Who's going to murder the name?
Yeah.
Stab it.
Somebody.
It's got too many T's.
Too many T's.
Marco. Oh, for God's sake.
Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Hell. Jesus fucking Christ. Hang on.
Can I get a
Bassist from Nightwish.
There you go. Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Well, going back to myself, obviously my dad, Roger Taylor, Brian Downey, Lars Ulrich, and then more recently Mike Mangini from Dream Theater, Matt Sorum, Guns N' Roses. He was coming on tour with what's the guy from ZZ Top, the bassist? Is it Billy Gibbons?
Yeah.
Coming on tour with him. Buddy Rich, all the greats.
Cool.
So.
The thing is, we all bring a different element, I think, because Andy, when he's doing his bass lines, like Steve Harris, really bumpy and obviously technical, then I'm like, at the minute, listening to a lot of Slipknot and Testament, so I'm looking for like the low end, chuggy type things. But they all just seem to blend really well when you put them together.
Fucking love Testament.
Yeah, Testament.
My influences change from band to band. Obviously, I'm in different bands and different styles of music. So these guys are metal, my other band rock. So I'll draw upon, say, Bottom and Matt Sorum and whoever else for the rock, and for metal it'll be the guy from Mudvayne. I forget his name. The drummer from Mudvayne.
I feel really bad. I don't remember any of their names. I just remember Mudvayne and Dig. That's about it. That's really bad of me.
I think you should dig up some more Mudvayne.
My influences are always the same. They're easy. It's Cliff Burton, because it's Cliff. It's brilliant. He taught me that you can do a solo on bass guitar with distortion, use a wah, and all these things that I thought like, wait, you're allowed to do that? Geezer Butler, and his writing of bass lines really helps one of the way that I write. Yeah. Some of them, because some of the early Black Sabbath, you see the bass lines, it's kind of following the vocals a bit, so I'll tend to draw on that a bit. Then there's Steve Harris, obviously, and then there's other things. I draw a lot from some punk, from like Rancid and Offspring. Yeah. And
so I'm going to ask this question, seeing as you brought up Cliff, right?
I don't know, I'm gonna have
On
a
that,
tattoo.
on that song, where it says bass solo take 1, do you think that was a setup or not?
No, that was.
I haven't asked anyone this question. Do you think that was actually his first take?
That was his first take, but he did do several others after, but chose to keep that one that he did.
Right. I have to ask, do you know what? I listened to that the other day, and I was like, was that a setup or was that actually something? Because I suppose we're never really actually going to know. I'd like to believe it was.
Yeah, I've had an interview with the producer.
Yeah.
I forget what his name was.
Bob Rock, was it at that time?
No, way before that. Way before that.
Bob Rock was the Black album.
But,
yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Reloaded.
Yeah.
No, he nailed it in one. I mean, it's Cliff.
Cool.
But he did other takes where he was trying different things out. Because a lot of it was improvised.
Yeah.
The fast part.
I must admit, seeing the current bassist Rob play, like he nails it as well. He nails it in the way he plays, but
I can never hold a bass
well.
he does that low down. It's
I know.
like with a crab.
He's a crab.
When I first started playing it,
Yeah.
I used to have it dead low, and I used to have a strap where I peeled all the fabric off it, so it was like more like rubber, and it would stretch and bounce. So I'd be able to stretch it like that and hit the floor with it. But Jesus, trying to do that now, no way.
Cool. And yourself?
Terrible with names, but I guess.
Name dropping.
Part my.
There goes another one.
Who are you? So, that's my influences go from Juice Priest. So is it Glenn Tiptoe?
Glenn Tipton.
That's
KK down.
Yes.
Tiptoe.
Glenn Steptoe.
Glenn Steptoe.
Sounds like some from The Simpsons who's good at stealing things.
Oh, there was an episode of Simpsons where Grand Funk was on the radio. It's like, Milk Shocker, Don Brewer.
Glenn Tiptoe.
Why is it all that's come to mind now about saying Simpsons is the bit where Homer's in the car and he's finally worked out that you could get all these accessories and plug them in, and he's driving along cooking coffee, receiving a fax, and then DJing going Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan.
Is Glenn Tipton the one that had to leave because of
Yes.
No, I thought
That's the
KK's not there anymore.
Edition. I'm not quite sure, but he actually made an appearance at Bloodstock last year.
Oh, did?
Yeah, it's like a guest. So
See, I like that you guys don't really remember the names as well, because I don't remember the names of anyone until I've had people talking to me and keep repeating the name over and over and over. And it's like, I know that guy because so-and-so's talked about it in the pub.
And one of those that I suppose has influenced me to get into doing, well, that I wanted to get into to music, but I suppose it was like nerves and like, oh, will I be able to do it sort of thing.
Yeah.
Not famous bloke, but he's been in quite a few bands. He doesn't do bands anymore, which is a shame. Ben Hayes. He used to be in a band called Gods to Fall. They kind of like a bit like
Jimmy Ben.
they kind of like Lamb of God. If they cover Arch Enemy sort of stuff.
Oh, right.
They were really, really good.
That sounds really, really heavy as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, me as well. A lot of influence.
We played a gig with him, didn't we?
Oh yeah. We played there last gig. I've got videos on YouTube.
I was at the intake, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
And
Cool. So how many gigs do you generally do throughout a year?
Um,
At the
It
moment?
varies.
Yeah. Last year we did quite a lot
Yes,
last
yeah.
year.
I was actually quite shocked with how many responses we got, because I sent out so many emails and then didn't hear anything back, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to hear back. And then a couple of months, about 6 venues all at the same time, can you play this, can you play that? So the whole of July we were busy.
Yeah.
August we were busy. Like every weekend after weekend, constantly
Yeah.
booked.
We haven't done a huge amount this year, mainly to get the album, sorted. That's been main thing.
With next year as well, obviously, I've contacted pubs, but I seem to be getting the same reply at the minute. Like, our calendar's not open yet. We'll let you know in a couple of months. But I have got one in January. Yeah. We're looking to do Melted Masters in February, so we're waiting to get back from that. And then we've got.
Are you doing the Nottingham one then?
This year? Yeah. So tap and tumble, isn't it?
Yes. What do you think to that?
I'm loving it. I've never played tap.
I don't.
I'm so mixed about it.
People always said to me before, "Oh, band's player," and I'm like, "How can a band play here? It's too small."
Yeah,
and then obviously since they've redone it now, it's like. Bloody hell, it gets piped. It's good.
I've always hated the setup of that pub, but I've always loved it.
I don't understand why they didn't do that, and on Saturdays to start with, it
gets packed out.
It blows your mind how it were done before.
Yeah.
Well, how did they change it now then?
Maze has closed down, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because originally it was at the Maze on a Thursday evening, and now it's at the Tap on a Saturday.
Well,
so it's free entry.
And it's free entry.
A few years before at the Maze, I think they did them at Wednesdays and all, which
yeah,
on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard to ask someone to go out on a weekday sometimes.
Thursdays, maybe.
Student night.
Well, yeah. Okay. Can you name what you're all excited about in the upcoming 6 months?
The release of the album. That's what I'd say. That's the main issue at the moment, isn't it?
That's the main one.
Have you got a time period for the release then?
Not yet.
No.
Well, we've still got
want
two
to get the
songs.
2 songs finished, and then once we've know when we do Metal to Masses, hopefully get one recorded in February, and then hopefully, well, maybe get both done in February. Depends on.
Yeah.
Early next year.
Yeah, and then and one done in March. Like Mike says, depends on when we know what's happening.
Yeah.
And once we've got them sorted, we can get it done, announce a day we releasing it, and go from there, sort of thing.
I heard something interesting on a podcast yesterday. It was from a mastering engineer, and she'd turned around and said she can't understand why bands put a release date on the album when it's not finished. So I'm hoping what you're saying is that there is no way you're going to put a date on it until the masters are happy, are in your hand.
Unless you can actually promise something.
Yeah.
It's like, I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent.
Crack on.
You look at video games now, they've got like season passes and whatnot, and and downloads and whatnot. They're promising things months and years in advance that they can't realistically.
Paying for a season pass and they haven't even made the content for what's in it.
Yeah, that's the whole problem.
It's like with the new Doom game coming out. They announced it for next month, and obviously promoted it all, showed you all the videos, and then they turned around a week ago. Sorry, it's not coming out till February now. So I was pre-ordered it already, thinking yes, it's coming out. Then was like, sorry, you got to wait like another month or two.
I'll tell you something. That is salespeople down to a T. They'll literally sell you the dream and not fucking deliver.
Yes.
The worst one of that were a game called Evolve. Apparently, that's people only heard of that started 2014 and screenshots, and before you saw any video they were advertising downloads and season passes for it before anything else for the game.
Wow.
One game that did make me laugh though was Manhunt 2. They announced that, and then I went to the Download Festival in 2007. They had a big massive billboard advertising. It's like, that's going to be good. sorry, it's too graphic. We've got to edit it down. It's not coming out for another year. Yeah, paid for all this advertising at Download Fest. Was like,
wow.
Yeah, killing your hopes.
Right, I am going to move us on because we're getting on a bit. So I'm going to go to the last question. I'm going to ask you all, in your opinion, if you believe so, what makes the Notts alternative scene great?
I guess it's the connection between bands. But there's a kind of I guess all bands here are quite close to each other. We have
Yeah.
I'd say how they're keeping music alive.
Yeah.
Because you get a gig, they'll promote it like crazy. Whereas we've played in Derbyshire at the Sitwell before. I thought, we'll book a gig in Derby. We've not played there before. Got there, there weren't one poster up. Oh, didn't you guys promote it? Well, we have. What have you? No, sorry.
Oh dear.
It's like, well, that's not keeping it alive, is it? No wonder we had like 5 people in the door. Yeah, you come here, you see posters everywhere, everyone's talking about it, and you get a full room every time.
Cool.
I think also the genre, I suppose, of the different rock and metal kind of changes. It like stays the same for like, I don't know, 3-4 months, and then changes into something else that's more sort. Well, it seems like it's more of the thing that's, I don't want to say popular, but that's like, for a bit back it was like metalcore and that sort of thing. That was the big thing for a bit, and then stoner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stoner.
Different genres are getting more and more popular.
But I think what, like with what you're saying, definitely Notts seems to bring all of that out of people.
Yeah, it does.
The bands that suddenly, when they're like, for lack of a better term, when the subgenre becomes popular, the bands are already there, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
I think the people are in the bands specifically all tend to be kind of one big family. All tend to help each other out. Rather than in some cities, it's just like, oh yeah, we know them, but like don't really speak to them. You can just like get in touch with other bands there for any help that you need and stuff, and they'll all lend an helping hand because they all rely on each other.
I agree with that though. So one time we got a gig with a band called Cadence Noir. Have you heard of them? They're from Nottingham.
Yes.
We got them a gig at the Black Market in Warsaw, and then they said, oh, we'll get you a gig in Derby with us.
Yeah.
So then whenever now they want a support band, they will message me. Or I'll say, if we ever need one, we'll message them.
Yeah.
So you kind of get that link between all the bands and say,
comradeship.
Yeah. Bromances. We've got the bromances going on.
You don't tend to get that, and that I've noticed anyway. Well, certainly not in the Midlands. Not the further north or south you go, they don't tend to be as.
I see there's a lot more people trying to, and especially since I've started the podcast, and people are getting in contact from all over the country, and I find it a shame sometimes that I'm kind of turning people away from doing anything with them, because I don't. It's weird. I only know of one other full-time alternative podcast in the UK, so I'm wondering if I should expand a bit more. But definitely in Nottingham, I see a lot more comradeship, but it's slowly getting better up and down the country. As far as I can see from what the messages I'm having.
I mean, another one on the Facebook thing, there's you, and then there's heaps metal, Chris.
Yes, I keep in contact with him.
He does a lot of advertising different bands and whatnot.
I'm going to have to send him my logo because I keep seeing his pictures come up with everybody's logo on, and I'm like, how the hell did they get the logo up? I'm going to have to give him a reach around, aren't I?
Spam his inbox.
It's a good job it's a podcast, not a video.
Why?
He's getting very excited.
Right. As always, thank you very much for coming today. I'd like to give you the last word. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we bring it to a close?
Thank you for having us on.
Yes.
You're doing a good job keeping it all alive.
Yes.
Speaking now.
One other thing. You won't necessarily see me personally on stage because I go in different guises.
Yeah.
Like used to be Corporate Bastard.
Friendly neighbourhood corporate bastard.
I can't remember what the comedian was. He died a few years ago. Bottom.
Rick Blair.
Yeah, that.
Oh, yeah.
Where he used to be in this political comedy thing. Summit Bastard, and that's partly where I got that one.
Oh, cool.
Right, where he'd like Corporate Bastard, like to feed the poor to fuel cars and whatnot, into a blender and something.
I'm gonna have to look. You're gonna have to send me a video to this because I honestly don't know what that is.
Neither do we.
the newest one. It was supposed to be a take on the bloke from Wild Wild West, Dr. Lovelace.
Oh, right.
Yeah, moustache and whatnot. But I got this mask.
So you can't grow a moustache?
I can, but it smells, man.
Miracle Grow.
But it's called Dr. Hatemore. It's got like top hat and a mask that flashes when you press a button.
Oh yeah, your new mask.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to touch on that because I don't know what to make of it.
I bought that from a wrestler, Hustle Malone.
Oh.
Because he was selling a few.
He hustled.
And I've like customised a bit because when I first started, I can't really speak English. But
fair play.
It always reminds me of The Purge when I see him wear it.
That's what I thought.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm going to be honest. Everybody that's listening now, go check out some of the pictures on their page because I think it's very interesting. Is there anything else you'd like to say, lads, before we finish up?
I can't really think of anything else.
Anyone you'd like to thank or anything like that? Just not me. I don't need thanking for this shit.
Thank you to the people who are hopefully going to listen to this.
Well, I suppose everyone who's influenced us. Obviously not the big people because, well, they're busy doing whatever they're doing.
They're going to listen.
I think one of the biggest thank yous would need to be to all the pub landlords who actually let the bands play. So if it weren't for that, then you'd have nothing.
Yeah. We rely on landlords for gigs.
You'd have nowhere to play.
Yeah.
Nowhere whatsoever.
I just had to thank Kelly because she puts up with my fucking shit and my practice every night, even when she's not happy.
Something that base.
Right, as I said, thank you very much, lads, for today.
Thank you for having us here.
Thank you very much, Notts Rockers, for listening to NottsRockCast over YouTube. If you would like to check us out on your favourite podcast player, please search NottsRockCast. And don't forget, if you're on social media platforms, give us a like, give us a share. You'll find us at NottsRockCast. Anyway, till next time, keep it Notts, keep it rocks.
NottsRockCast is an association with Regular Riot. Welcome to NottsRockCast, the Notts Alternative Scene podcast. And here is your host, Jethro D, bringing you everything Notts and Rock.